Game of Life Training.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another day here on your drive, live at 5. No jive. My name is Aaron David Spiegel with Game of Life Training, training for the game of life. It's the stuff that they don't teach you in school. And today we're going to I'm going to talk about the world being a mirror or a reflection of your own thoughts. And what that means, and just different scenarios. What I was thinking is, as far as like what we get out there, as above so below, as within so without, and how that carries over, what that means on different levels even. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Let's dive right in and talk about the world is a reflection or a mirror image of your thoughts. So what do you do? I mean, have you looked at the world and it's like crazy? Have you looked at the world and it's like the most beautiful place? Have you looked at the world? Have you looked at other people? Because this comes across in other people too, okay? Like you can look at somebody else and not like them because they are how you are, you know, or or you can see that they are how you've been, right? So you can not like that, but essentially we're recognizing a characteristic or a trait in somebody else that we see in ourselves. So if you're looking at other people and the people that are around you are nice, kind, not nice. Okay. Nice is actually not the word that you thought it was. Nice means an idiot or adult, you know. So you want to say kind. Kind is the replacement word for nice. I used to say nice all the time, so it's a little bit of a challenge. But yeah, so you see in people what you see in yourself. And once you get to studying yourself and knowing yourself and paying attention to yourself, you can really see yourself in everybody. The world is yourself pushed out, right? So what you're thinking on the inside, I get from my own personal experience. Here's what's happened. I say people are good, and good people are always around. I say life is good, and life is good. I say um, good things are always happening to me, and they are always happening to me. So that's a reflection that this world mirrors back to me. And I've also thought completely the opposite, and been not right in my own head and my own thoughts, and they're not flying in right order, and neither is the world around me. That doesn't mean that when things are going bad that your head is not right. It doesn't mean that. It means that your head wasn't right at a time at some point, right? So you're getting these bad things that are happening as far as bad and good. Um, Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so, right? That's a quote, and it's kind of got some truth to it because it really is a matter of how do you look at it. And if you're looking at it from a lifestyle standpoint, whatever you've experienced has taken you to where you are now. So, you can't come to where you are without having the good and the bad. But when you get to a certain point, you can eliminate some of the bad and start increasing on the good. And how you do that is essentially, I mean, the practice for mastery is to direct your words and your imagination and your consciousness of being, enter into states. Um, and the state that you're in is the reflection that you're going to get back. So if you're in a state of depression, then you're going to see all the crap out there. And if you're in a state of happiness, then you're going to see all the happy things out there. So it goes deep, deep, deep as far as what are you believing. So you have to condition and direct your thoughts and your beliefs. That's only if you don't have to do anything, because it's only if you really believe that that's the way things work. If you don't believe that that's the way things work, when they say don't say that, like, I hate you, I wish you were dead. Don't say that. Well, there's truth to that. But if you don't believe that, then say whatever you want, practice whatever you want. But if you know that that's true, then you have to practice, practice, practice. You have to revise every day, or else you're going to get a reflection back from this world that you don't like. You're going to. And until you fix what's going on inside, you can't get a reflection back from the outside that's any different. So if you want better reflection outside, then fix the inside. And how do you do that? Through your words, through your prayers, through your actions, through your imaginal acts, through your that which you focus on constantly. So it's always, this is all I'm doing here is reminding people. That's all I do. I remind myself and I remind you. But I'm very aware to the point where I just feel compelled, just to remind you that, no matter how much crap you're going through right here, right now, it's fine. You're okay. It's going to be okay. You're on the right path. If you're listening to this, you're on the right path. You're heading in the right direction. So, you know, the idea is for you to take control and decide whatever it is that you want for your life, and start creating that within this world. But you got to start in your own thoughts and say, what do I want, right? What do I want? That's the hardest part for most people, and that's the part that really nobody really says what they want, or they have an idea or a vague idea of what they want. But to come up with what do you want? What do you want your whole life experience to be? That's a bit of a challenge, right? Because there's so many options and possibilities. But if you're not even focused on that and you're just going wherever you go, then that's where you're going to end up. So, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be, you know, whatever. So the idea is focus only on what you want, right? Say only what you want. If you say things outside of that, your world will reflect back to you those things. And that's why you can't serve two masters, right? You can't serve two sets of thoughts. You can't serve, um, you know, uh, being in great health and then, doing all kinds of stuff to your body and thinking all kinds of things. If you're thinking, I want to be in great health, and you say, oh, you're also thinking, I could die of cancer any day now. That's two different things. And if you focus on, all you're doing is creating chaos. You can't go back and forth. So you just have to say, I am healthier. I'm getting healthier every day. I'm becoming um, whatever it is that you want, right? So it feels like I'm a broken record here, but the fact of the matter is these are the things that anybody needs to practice for mastery. You have to take the time to go inside and figure out whatever it is that you do want, and then set those in your mind, and then just wait for them to show up in this world. It's a pretty amazing experience, but you got to test it for yourself. And then when you see those little things happen, you have to understand and realize, wait, you just created that. And this all comes down to then taking control, or taking credit, or, I don't know how much credit you can really take, credit or fault for your life, but essentially taking credit for every outcome that comes at you. You have, take responsibility for that. And that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. Wait a minute, I've created all this. Yes, you have. Why? I don't know. Who knows why? I don't know. But once you realize it and you get it, you can't unsee it. And then now what? It's up to you then to start creating, directing your thoughts, directing your actions, your words, your imagination, all that toward whatever it is that you want, and start eliminating those bad things that you don't want anymore. Not necessarily bad, but the things that you don't want anymore. Yeah. Um it's a practice. Well, I've had this. Okay, so depending upon what you're thinking at what time, the state that you're in, I've watched the fabric of reality bend based on what state I was in. So it's really mastering getting into and out of states. You can visit states without having to stay there because you're not stuck in any one state any longer. So you can visit um, sadness if you want, or sentiment if you want, but you're not going to get stuck in a depression because you went there and visited. Um, but if you don't want to go there, don't go there. You don't have to get stuck there. But once you learn to navigate through states, which is by way of your words, and you say, I am whatever, I am whatever, I am this, I am that, then that will create a state within you. And then you become aware of the resources of that state. And so if you say, I am confident, you become aware of the state of confidence, and your body becomes aware, and it starts, happening immediately or over time. Whatever you repeat to yourself, you're brainwashing yourself. So if you're not seeing stuff that you want in the world, you have to brainwash yourself out of it by saying, I am. And it's not like you have to, it's a fantasy. You're not fantasizing and, daydreaming. You're usually using your imagination creatively. That's what you're doing. And they never taught you that in school. They didn't teach you to create using your own imagination. They didn't teach you to go inside. When somebody says I'm thinking about something, you're really in your imagination and you're creating. You're just thinking toward one certain whatever, a solution to, or the outcome for, whatever the case might be. But people don't know that there's infinite power within your imagination. People don't understand that. It's not been taught by the school. You have to realize it for yourself. And I mean, you can step into your imagination and it's limitless. There is no beginning, there is no end. So the best thing that you can do, I can't say anything better, is to master your imagination, master the imaginal acts that are going on inside of your head, master those things, direct those things, use those things. That's our ultimate power. And they didn't teach us that. They taught you to listen, do as I say, don't ask any questions, get a job, work until you're exhausted. And you don't have time. They taught you all this stuff. They didn't teach you how to use your imagination. And then they've actually condemned it by way of, you know, um, sarcastically speaking of it, all you're in your imagination. You're just dreaming. But I mean, Einstein knew, uh, Tesla knew that your imagination is powerful. I say it's source creation. That's what I believe. Um, there is no difference between God and your imagination. They're the same. It's the eternal body of man. But they don't teach you that in school. They don't teach you to utilize your imagination. They don't teach you to stop and write down whatever it is that you want and then rehearse that. They don't teach you to go inside and see that as if it's already done. And church teaches you that to some extent, but they still don't teach you. Ask with faith that it is done and it'll be given to you. It, so how do you do that? But it's a practice. It's a practice. It's a practice. You ask with faith that it is done and it will be given to you. You have to practice imagining what it is that you want as if it's already done. So, whatever it is that you want, you have to picture that in your head and then, feel it like it's real. And then, regardless of what the world around you will say, you live there. It matters not because those things will fall away. I think it was Madonna that said, once you know what you want and you're so clear and vivid on it, the world will or the universe will conspire to give it to you. So the biggest thing is know what do you want, you know, and you don't have to know what you want for your entire life. I mean, you can, but your unique adventure is, doing whatever you do. It's okay to be you. That's a good one. It's okay to be you and forgive others for being them, because what you see in other people is a reflection of you. And it could be a reflection, it could be projection, which means that you're seeing things that aren't necessarily even real as if they're real because that's the way you are. Or it could be discernment where you're actually able to criticize the situation because you've been there before and you know it. You know the characteristic, and so you're aware of it. That's discernment. But projection is a completely different thing where you say, somebody is a certain way or a situation is a certain way. It's like somebody well anyway, you're projecting upon them your own thoughts of yourself and you're thinking they're just that kind of way. Like if you're a thief, you think everybody's a thief because you're a thief. Get it? That's projecting. So you're like, I mean, but a discernment, if you used to be a thief and you're not a thief anymore, but you recognize in somebody else that they are a thief because, I mean, it's not a judgment necessarily. It's just you're seeing the situation clearly. So, um, you know, the it always comes down to the root of it is to pay attention to your thoughts, ground yourself, move every day. Okay, these are the two things. You got to give yourself, some time on a daily basis to meditate, however you want to do that, but you have to stop and take a moment and then also keep your body moving and keep it healthy. And the best thing you can do for that is to move it. And, 20 minutes a day, not that big of a deal. It's a reminder. Just like most people cannot even move the way their body is supposed to move. I mean, your body is amazing. It can do all kinds of things. I mean, you've seen people that can put, you know, both legs up in the air, then, fold in half, whatever the case might be. That's, that's our body. It's capable of doing that. So, the more that you move it, the more you're keeping it healthy, the more you're keeping you healthy. And the more the world around you is easier. These are the things that you can do to make the world easier for yourself, because whatever's going on, if you're complacent in your mind or you're complacent in your body, you're going to be complacent in your mind. So I don't know, it all ties together, but it always comes down to mastering your own inner thoughts, imaginal acts. How can you do that? You write it down, you rehearse it, and you get yourself to believe it. You brainwash yourself to believe it. So this is how you do it, guys. Thanks for coming back again. One more day. We're gonna do this again. Until it sinks in. There was a preacher that preached the same sermon five, like he was preaching the same sermon. And then at a point, the congregation said, are you okay? Because you've been preaching the same sermon now for like 4 weeks. And he was like, yeah, I'm fine. But until you guys get this through your head, I'm going to keep preaching the same sermon. So until you do something about it, I'm going to keep preaching the same sermon. So yeah, this is a series of reminders. That's what we're doing here on your Drive Live at 5. It's just a reminder to think about it. Think about whatever is pertinent for you for the day. and give it a little bit of focus, give it a little bit of attention, move in that direction, have a good time doing it, enjoy your life, enjoy your process, because nobody can say I am for you. This is Aaron David Spiegel, wishing you the very best day. Make it your best day ever. We'll see you next one.